A warm and heartfelt welcome to all of you. On the eve of the World Anthropology Day, we gather for two significant events of the United Indian Anthropology Forum. First, we pay tribute to the distinguished anthropologists who have left us during the past year, honoring their invaluable contributions to our discipline. Second, we have the privilege of hosting the second Pre-World Anthropology Congress 2026 distinguished invited lecture to be delivered by Professor M.A. Kala. As we reflect on the theme, Human Journey Across Time and Space, the focal theme of the World Anthropology Congress 2026, we celebrate the remarkable odyssey of our species, from the earliest footsteps in the Rift Valley to the digital landscapes of the 21st century. This journey is a testament to resilience, creativity, adaptation, and enduring human connections. Why do we celebrate World Anthropology Day? We celebrate it to map our origins, to bridge the borders across cultures and societies, and to navigate the future with insight and responsibility. Anthropology is not merely the study of others, it is a mirror held up to ourselves. It reminds us that while our journeys across space and time are diverse, we share a common human history. Let us now begin our first event, paying tribute to the departed anthropologists. Today, remember 8 scholars, beginning with Professor P.C. Joshi, one of the pillars of our forum, and extending to Dr. Remita, a young and valued member of UIF who left us far too early. I think there is some disturbance.
Please request just to mute everybody.
So we remember our dear Professor Joshi, and we also remember Dr. Remida, the young anthropologist. Along with them, we remember Professor Mohan Gautam, Professor R.K. Kar, Professor Madhav Gadgil, Dr. Swaran Singh, Professor Andre Bette, Sri T. Madhav Menon. All of them, directly or indirectly, have imbibed the values of anthropology and contributed to the knowledge and the language. What we will do after paying tribute to each of them, we shall observe at the end a 1 minute silence in their honor before proceeding. So let me express a happy World Anthropology Day, and let us continue to explore, engage, and inspire. Now I call upon Professor R.P. Mitra to pay our tributes to Professor P.C. Joshi.
Thank you, Gregory, sir. My regards to all respected anthropologists and other members of the forum who are joining us this evening. It's indeed an honor for me to express my gratitude and a tribute for perhaps one of the leading anthropologists of his generation, Professor P.C. Joshi. What set Professor P.C. Joshi apart was the fact that he brought in so many things together in one person that it is difficult to say that one can be complete in this manner. He was a brilliant academician, along with it, a brilliant administrator, along with it, a wonderful human being, along with him, such a positive and motivated person who would instill life and positivity in wherever and whatever place he was part of. And his active contribution to the UIF forum in this regard is much cherished. As an academician, Professor P.C. Joshi was one of the leading medical anthropologists of his time. And we could see a very distinct phases in which he developed his academic acumen and his academic brilliance. He started his career with working on the Khos Rajputs of Uttaranchal, Bonsar Bawar. And there was a saying in our department that as Tobriander is to Malinowski, so Professor Joshi was to Khos Jonsaris of Uttaranchal. Every leading anthropologist visiting this area always used to consult him, always used to be with him. The second phase of his journey after teaching at Srinagar was in Institute of Human Behavior and Allied Sciences at Delhi, where we could see an emergence of one who is an applied anthropologist, bringing the discipline of medical anthropology as how as a collaborative activity it can be taken up. He also contributed to policy making. And finally, he started his career in University of Delhi in 1997. And there he established what we may call as somebody who is bringing together a critical perspective with the theoretical emphasis and the applied anthropology, what we call as the engaged anthropology of the contemporary time. So if I start speaking about his academic achievement, I don't think I will be able to do justice to it in 2 minutes. But what I would like to say is that he was a visionary. He could see the importance of new disciplines, new subjects, new areas of research, and he was extremely bold. He wasn't scared. He would take up any challenge. He would not be deterred by whatever the difficulties are, obstacles are. He would be a bundle of positivity, bundle of energy. To his students, he was a source of inspiration and of great. The one who established medical anthropology at Institute of Human Behavior Allied Sciences. He was also the acting vice chancellor of University of Delhi. And we say that there are academic leaders who increase the academic indexes of institution. But what he did was, we say about him that he increased the happiness index of the university and the university community. And we often used to say that he would live by his name, Joshi ji. He would instill a new Josh in the University of Delhi. Finally, I would conclude. There's so many things to say, but there are so many people other who would be speaking after me. There are 4 important things which he said, and I think which he wrote about also, about Indian anthropology and where we lack in Indian anthropology. First, he said was LOC. He would say, what we lack, Mitra Sahab, he used to address me, is the dearth of confidence, the lack of confidence in us. We are among the best, but we do not have that confidence to take on the sociologists, do not have the confidence to take on the economists, do not have the confidence to take on medical doctor eye to eye, one to one. Second, he used to say, there's a problem in us, MOS. I said, what is that? It is making of deification or making of sacred. Whomsoever we consider as sacred, we never question them. There is unquestionable acceptance of authority in anthropology. We should be always making deities by critically examining their ideas. Third, he used to say is, we lack, especially this would be about the students, There's some kind of an inferiority complex in us. He used to say ICS, inferiority complex of our scholars, that you have to work on. And finally, he would say MAC. MAC was you have to work for the greatness of the difficulty, not just looking at your own self-interest. It is this complete dedication to anthropology with the spirit he lived on. It was a sad day on June 20th when he passed away. We will always mix his charisma. We will always miss his kindness. We will always miss his leadership. He remained a cherished member of our community, and we always will be indebted to him. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Mitra. Now we'll move on to paying tribute to Professor Mohan Gautam. Since Professor Deepak Kumar Behra is preoccupied with some official engagement, I will read out and the message which he has sent, along with what I think Professor Mohan K. Gautam stands for. The United Indian Anthropology Forum pays its heartfelt tribute to Mohan Gautam, former professor of anthropology and Hindi grammar at Leiden University, who passed away in August 2025 at his home in Leiden. Professor Gautam began his academic career in 1962 as a lecturer at Leiden University and earned his PhD in 1977 under the supervision of P.D. Jocelyn de Jong. Over the decades, he emerged as a distinguished scholar at the Center for South Asian and Tibetan Studies, contributing immensely to anthropology and Hindi studies in Europe and beyond. His pioneering research on the Santals reflected in works such as In Search of an Identity and The Santalization of Santals, offered deep insights into ethnic identity, tribal movements, and social transformation in South Asia. His writings on migration, internship, and the global Indian diaspora, especially Indo-Caribbean communities, significantly enriched diaspora studies. Equally noteworthy were his contributions to Hindi grammar and language pedagogy, including syllabus Hindi Grammatica and later works on Hindustani grammar, which strengthened the academic study of Hindi in the Netherlands. Beyond his scholarship, Professor Gautam was a compassionate mentor and an inspiring teacher. His intellectual rigor, cultural sensitivity, and humane engagement left a lasting imprint on generations of students and scholars. The United Indian Anthropology Forum joins the global academic community in mourning this irreparable loss. His legacy will continue to guide and inspire us. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Now we'll move on to paying tribute to Professor R.K. Carr. I invite Professor Sardak Sengupta to pay our tribute. Over to Professor Sengupta.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Thank you, Professor, for considering me to pay homage to my teacher and also my colleague for a pretty long time, Professor R.K. Kaur. Professor Ramendra Kumar Kaur was a distinguished anthropologist of Northeastern region and an alumnus of the Department of Anthropology at Dibrugarh University. He completed his postgraduate studies in 1969 and joined as the university's faculty in the same year. His postgraduate dissertation focused on biological anthropology, after which he transitioned to social and cultural anthropology for his doctoral research. He earned his PhD in 1976 with a dissertation titled The Savaras of Mankata, a study on the effects of the tea industry on tribal life. Following this, he was promoted to reader in 1976 and to professor in 1991 and retired ultimately in 2007. Professor Kaur was recognized as an outstanding educator, humble and down-to-earth person, and a committed field anthropologist conducting numerous research projects on topics such as modernization, urbanization, industrialization, ethnomedicinal practices, migration, social change, and health. He published approximately 120 research papers, authored 3 books, and supervised 12 doctoral candidates. Uh, he served as editor of the Bulletin of the Department of Anthropology, Dibrugarh University, which has been published continuously since 1972, and edited several issues of the Bulletin. Professor Kaur also served as sectional president of the Indian Science Congress Association during its 88th annual session in 2000 to 2001 in New Delhi, where he delivered a presidential address on anthropohistorical appraisal of a migrant population in Assam, Northeast India. He was a life member of Indian Anthropological Society, Kolkata, and a founding member of Indian National Confederation and the Academy of Anthropologists, Kolkata. In 2004, for a very brief period, he held the position of Vice Chancellor in Charge at Dibrugarh University. He was awarded the UGC Emeritus Fellowship 2007 to 2009, and unfortunately, Professor Kaur passed away on August 27th last year in Dibrugarh after a brief illness. His death is a significant loss to the field of anthropology, particularly in Northeast India. Today, I pray to Almighty for eternal peace of the departed soul of all great anthropologists who left in the last few months for their heavenly abode. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Sankar. Now we'll move on to paying tribute to Professor Madhav Gadgil. I invite Dr. Lalit Kumar to pay our tribute. Dr. Lalit Kumar.
Thanks, Professor Gregory, Professor Behra, for arranging to pay homage to Professor Madhav Gadgil at the UIAF forum or platform and providing me this opportunity to say a few words in his honor. Dear colleagues, I am humbled and honored to pay tribute to Professor Madhav Gadgil, a visionary ecologist who left us last month on 7th January, a profound void in the scientific policy and conservation communities worldwide. He authored over 250 papers and several influential books and received many national and international awards. Professor Gadgil's initiation to anthropology was by Professor Iravati Karve, Gadgil's next door neighbor in Pune. Professor Karve took him along with her anthropology students of Deccan College for a 15 days fieldwork training in Coorg. So impressed, after his return from Coorg, Madhav declared that he would like to be an anthropologist and naturalist to his parents in front of an American economist visiting their house. His father, Dhananjay Gadgil, as you know, was a renowned economist. He was Deputy Chairman Planning Commission from 1967 to 71, credited for developing a formula for sharing central assistance with the states known as Gadgil formula, which was later known as Gadgil-Mukherjee formula. Regarding Professor Gadgil's affection and association with anthropology, I would like to share one small information which many are not aware. That was his association with anthropologists at the Harvard University. One of my PhD examiner, Professor Henry Herpending, who did PhD anthropology at Harvard in 72, informed me that he was a good friend of Madhav Gadgil, who did a PhD in mathematical ecology at Harvard in 1970. And they used to discuss many anthropological population genetics issues and used to play squash together. So Professor Gadgil, who declared to become an anthropologist in his school days, sent his daughter to study anthropology, which we rarely see. Many anthropologists don't send their kids to study anthropology. And then he continued to make friends with anthropology background at his research days at the Harvard University and thereafter. I first met Professor Gadgil in 1980 at a social biology workshop organized by him at Mahabaleshwar. And then that was because of Professor K.C. Malhotra. And then Professor Gadgil, K.C. Malhotra, and myself, we conducted a field work in Uttarakhand along with Sundarlal Bahuguna ji. Then I joined him as a visiting scientist at IIC to work on social forestry. During the last 3 years being in Pune, I got many opportunities to meet Professor Gadgil, and I learned a lot about anthropology from him. To me, following are the 3 key aspects that made Professor Gadgil an extraordinary figure. Number 1, pioneering ecologist and institution builder. He set up the Center for Ecological Sciences at IIC in 1983 and transformed Bangalore into a hub for ecological research. Advocate for people-centric conservation. Professor Gadgil's work was his unwavering belief in the crucial role of local communities and traditional knowledge in conservation. Number 3, influence on policy and environmental governance. Professor Gadgil played a crucial role in drafting the Biological Diversity Act 2002, served on the Scientific Advisory Council to the Prime Minister, and many other government bodies he was participating. And in Delhi, I used to accompany him during many meetings. His most widely known public role was chairing the Western Ghats Ecology Expert Panel, which proposed declaring a significant part of the Western Ghats as ecological sensitive. Several species have been named in the honor of Professor Gadgil. These include a woody bamboo, Pseudocytoananthera madhavi, a tree species from Western Ghats, Alaikocarpus gadgili, and a species of leaping frog, Micrixellus gadgili. So foresters, zoologists, botanists, they honored him, and today anthropologists are honoring him. So it's a very nice gesture. At the end, I would like to share one message or mantra received from Professor Gadgil a number of times, which must be useful for young and not so young anthropologists. That was to write. You must write on whatever you have studied or observed. He used to tell me that I'm telling Kailash Malhotra also, he should write on his 50 years fieldwork experience. So I just discussed today in the morning with Professor Malhotra about these issues. So yes, he was also remembering that he used to always tell that please write, please write. So Professor Gadgil will continue to inspire generations of anthropologists and ecologists to work towards a sustainable and equitable world. Naman to the legendary Professor Madhav Gadgil. Thank you. Thanks for your patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lalit Kumar. And now we'll move on to Dr. Swaran Singh. And since Dr. Amitabh could not attend this program, and due to the bereavement of his mother, he has sent a brief message, which I will be reading now. Respected colleagues and friends, UAF pays its heartfelt tributes to Dr. Swaran Singh, an eminent physical anthropologist and a dedicated scholar who served the discipline with distinction. He was born in Gurdaspur district of Punjab on 20th December 1949 Dr. Swaran Singh pursued his higher education in anthropology at Punjab University, Chandigarh, obtaining his postgraduate degree in 1974. In 1976, he joined the Anthropological Survey of India as Senior Technical Assistant and was posted to the Central Region Center in Nagpur. During his tenure there, he worked closely with Dr. Narendra Kumar and carried out several significant anthropometric and serological studies. Through his merit and dedication, he was selected by the UPSC as anthropologist, physical, and posted to Calcutta. Under the guidance of Professor A.K. Danda, he was awarded the PhD degree in anthropology from the University of Calcutta. He eventually superannuated as Joint Director from the Central Region Center, Nagpur, Anthropological Survey of India. Dr. Swaran Singh made seminal contributions to physical anthropology, particularly through his detailed dermatoclitic, anthropometric, genetic, and serological studies among the Pathudi, Saunti, and Nagasia tribes. His research, published in reputed journals such as Human Science and the Journal of the Anthropological Survey of India, remains valuable for scholars working in biological anthropology and population studies. As an administrator, he was known for his discipline and integrity. Though strict in professional matters, he was soft-spoken, gentle in demeanor, and maintained cordial relations with all his colleagues. His quiet presence and unwavering commitment to scholarship left a lasting impression on all who worked with him. Dr. Swaran Singh left this earthly world on 14th January 2026 in Delhi. With his passing, the anthropological community has lost a dedicated researcher, an able administrator, and a noble human being. May his soul rest in eternal peace. We extend our deepest condolences to his family and loved ones. Now we'll move on to paying tribute to Professor Andre Pete. I invite Professor Vijay Sagai to pay our tributes. Over to Professor Vijay Sagai.
Thank you very much, Professor Gregory. Am I audible very well? Hello?
Yes, sir. Professor Sahai, please go ahead.
Thank you. As a matter of fact, I think I'm too small a person to speak on Professor Andre Pete. And probably you'll be surprised to know that I met him once only in lifetime. That was on 2nd September 2022. Although I had intended to meet 42 years before, Professor Vidyarthi once sent me to the core Munda area in Jharkhand for some study. And there, all of a sudden, I came across the Munda tribe and I found a very interesting thing which I had not found in any other tribe in the country, or I don't know about the world also, I think. That was clan organization vis-a-vis territorial organization I found exactly among the Mundas. And I had decided that I would be doing my diligence under Professor Andre Pete. But then that was not the era of modern communication. There was no telephone, no internet, nothing like that. So finally, I got one of my research scholars to work on Munda and their Kilis. Kilis means clan. So Munda and their Kilis. That is a sort of tribal concept. Territorial organization vis-a-vis social organization. A study on territorial organization vis-a-vis social organization. Still, I have not got it published, although the PhD was awarded to my candidate as early as in 2005. But that thesis is still with me. I'm working on it because I was not very satisfied with the field work that the candidate has done. I told him that until and unless I personally visit those areas for the second time, thereafter I'll be publishing. And I think that will be I will consider at least my magnum opus. Munda and their Kiris, a study on social organization vis-a-vis territorial organization. I personally will consider my magnum opus, I think. Then Professor Vinay Srivastava was there. I discussed with him about it, and he said that he would take me to in Delhi, where he lives, and with Professor Vinay Srivastava, we decided that okay, we will take his interview and jointly we shall publish his interview, because Vinay Srivastava was his student also, and he knew all the works of which I did not know, all the works of Professor Bethi. But this also could materialize. So many times I went to Delhi, and somehow or other, either Vinay was not available in Delhi, or I was engaged in Delhi for some other works. Then came one of my books. This book is Anthropological Thought from Evolutionism to Postmodernism and Beyond. This book has been brought out by Springer. I wanted the foreword of this book to be written by Professor Andrew Bethi, and I wanted to request him. So on I told you on 2nd September 2022, I was in Delhi, and then I got the telephone number of him and rang him. His daughter lifted the telephone, and I had to talk with her. She said that she's very weak and very sick, so she won't be able to give interview or even write the foreword for any book. This is what she told me. But then I requested that, well, it's all right. I'll meet him at least and spend some few hours with him. And I went to his residence. There I met him. Many of the photographs are there even now with me, and I took in all the WhatsApp groups. I had a few, the day he died, the next day, I had many photographs with him, which I had taken at his residence. He was very feeble, very weak, and he also said that sorry, he has absolutely given up writing or reading both. So he would not be able to write the foreword for this book. Then Professor S.V. Chakravarti, Asiatic Society, then he was some general secretary or something. So he wrote that foreword and this. Now, I have now, of course, after his death, planned to study Andre Bethi, and I wish to write an article on him. This will be my tribute to him. With these words, I take leave because I have some preoccupations also. For half an hour. I'll be out of this meeting, and then again I'll join and listen to the lecture of Dr. Kalam. With these words, I pay my tribute to all the departed souls, and including Professor Andre Bethi. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Vijay Sarai. And now we move on to paying tribute to Sri T. Madhav Menon, IAS retired. I invite Dr. M. Sasikumar to pay our tributes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Grigori, sir, and UIAF for giving me this opportunity to pay homage to my respected Guruji, Sri T. Madhav Menon, sir. Sri T. Madhav Menon, sir, was not an anthropologist by training, but an anthropologist by his life. In 1954, he passed the Indian Civil Service examination with second rank and worked in different positions. When he was the collector of Palghat district of Kerala, he has done a Padayatra to the entire hamlets of the tribal areas of Attapadi area of Palghat district. That was his travel to the world of anthropology also. When the state of Kerala formatted the first tribal welfare department, he became its first director. And he shaped the thoughts and discussions of tribal development administration, especially in Kerala and also to some extent in India. He was the person who often argue for the tribal rights on land, or the role of land on the development of the tribes. And also he always argued for the participatory development of the tribes and the tribal rights on forest. Back in 1975, the Kerala government passed an act, the Restriction of Transfer of Tribal Land and Restoration of Alienated Lands Act. But it went on to the cold storage, never implemented and never framed the rules. And he very constantly and regularly trying or working for the implementation of the act. He has published a lot of works in this area of tribal development. He was the editor of the People of India Kerala volumes, published in 3 volumes. He, along with Sri Deepak Tyagi and Dr. Francis Kulirani. After his retirement, he has taken up the he became the chief editor of the Encyclopedia of Dravidian Tribes, published in 3 volumes by the International School of Dravidian Linguistics. There I got the opportunity to work along with him as its associate editor, as the sole associate editor. And about 10 years, I closely worked and associated with him. It is here we used to meet the eminent anthropologists of the day. It is International School of Dravidian Linguistics was the meeting place of several eminent anthropologists like B.D. Sharma, P.K. Bhomik, B.G. Halbar, P.R.G. Mathur. I remember a few of them. So that was though he is a nationally known policymaker and thinker, but he always liked to remain in a low profile, and he was leading a very simple life. So in addition to the People of India and the Encyclopedia of Dravidian Tribes, he has published enormously in different publications, and he also edited the 2 volumes of Handbook of Kerala. In addition, his latest publication was the Tribal Development in India, From Despair to Hope, that he has published in 2020. In addition, he has also translated some of the books like Kerala Parma, written by Herman Gundert, dates back in 1864, and the Kerala Pati, written by the father of Malayalam literature, Tunjat Elutachan. So, and also he has written extensively on the Mother Goddess worship, and he has published a book on Mother Goddess worship in West Bengal and Kerala. So, in a nutshell, he was an administrator, and he administrator turned anthropologist, and he worked for the tribals, and he was constantly arguing for the putting his point in the role of land in the tribal development and working for that. So I take this opportunity to pay homage to my Guruji, and I thank the organization for giving this opportunity. Thank you. Sir, please unmute.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Dr. Sasikumar. Now we'll move on to paying tribute to Dr. Remita. I invite Dr. M. Sini to pay our tributes.
Distinguished anthropologists, office bearers of United Anthropology Forum, colleagues, dear students and friends. It's a very sad occasion for any teacher to give tribute to our own students. So along with the eminent and established scholars we remember today, we also pay tribute to a young anthropologist, Dr. Remita Ketty, who left us recently in a tragic accident. Her sudden departure is very painful even today, and the space she leaves cannot be filled easily. Though young in years, she had already found her academic footing in a good way. She was in a stable and promising phase of her career and steadily building her scholarly path through publications and presentations and contributing to anthropology. Devita completed her MA, MPhil, and PhD in anthropology from Kannur University and was steadily building her scholarship through years of meticulous study and research. From postgraduate study to PhD research, she approached learning not merely as a requirement for degrees, but as a lifelong pursuit of understanding. In addition to her position as a contract faculty in the Department of Anthropology, Kannur University, she also extended her teaching at prestigious institutions like NIFT, IGNO, etc. While remembering her, the most important thing is the dedication of her to the field of anthropology. Though her journey in the discipline had just begun, her passion for learning and study in the emerging areas of anthropology was remarkable. Devita was someone who worked with humility and integrity, and she became a meaningful presence to the anthropology community in Kerala. So she will be remembered with respect, affection, and deep sorrow, and live in the hearts of all who knew her. We all know that academic paths are not always linear. Like many women researchers, she also experienced a career break, a period shaped by personal responsibilities and life's demands. Her re-entry into the academia reflected her determination and a strong commitment to research. She showed that a temporary interruption does not diminish academic strength or passion for research. To her, research and teaching was not merely an academic duty. She approached it with compassion. Her students found in her not just a teacher, but a mentor, a guide, and a source of steady encouragement. There is no word to say about her warmth, sincerity, and unwavering support extended to the students. When the FIMP program was introduced in the Department of Anthropology in 2024, Dr. Remita Ketty stood out as a pillar for support for the students. As it was a new academic initiative in the university system, she made it as a mission to guide students with patience and encouragement. She ensured that no student felt uncertain or unheard. Her approachable nature and constant support created a space where students felt comfortable, capable, and motivated. Her PhD research work was on elderly people, and that was an excellent work. And through her work, she proved that research is not just drawing out, but it is about establishing research, relationship with the people, and the elderly were not a mere subjects to her, but the collaborators in the knowledge creation. She approached aging not merely as a demographic reality, but as a deeply human experience. Through her research, she sought to understand the actual realities of elderly people, their challenges, their resilience, and the wisdom they carry. According to her, the elderly are not a marginalized group to be studied from a distance. As it is a new area in anthropology, her work would actually be an asset to anthropological studies if it get published. In listening to the elderly voices, documenting their experiences, and advocating for their dignity, she gave visibility to the elderly lives, which was neglected even by anthropologists. During the every phase of inclusion of the discipline into various spheres, she was there with me. And Dr. Rimida's life, though brief, reminds us that one's impact is not measured in terms of long service or years spent, but it is measured in terms of dedication and commitment. In loving memory of Dr. Remida Ketty, the Department of Anthropology, Kannur University has instituted Dr. Remida Ketty Memorial Award for two promising students for the best institutional visitor report as part of the academic program. This award stands as a tribute to her spirit, and Dr. Remida Ketty was not only a dedicated scholar and mentor, but also a pillar of strength for her family. She balanced her academic pursuits, professional responsibilities, and personal life with grace, always supporting her loved ones with care, guidance, and love. Her ability to extend the same compassion and dedication to her family and the students reflects the depth of the character and the commitment. I would not like to prolong. May her dedication inspire us. May her scholarship guide us. May her spirit remain with us in every field work journey, every classroom situations, and her presence will continue to live and shine through our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sini. Now we'll observe 1 minute silence in honor of all these departed anthropologists before we move on to the next event.